Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. And today we are going to be working on a Gryphon. So I did use a pattern for this, however, I kind of mixed and matched various things. So the body is of the unicorn pattern from Lapp. The head is of the phoenix. The wings are also of the phoenix. The tail feathers are of some other part of it. I removed one of the wings. I'm going to remove the ears here so that I can sew on the beak and the face, the head. And I'm not quite sure which needle is going to be better. Probably this one. But we're going to start with the beak here. Now, this was a first attempt. And he looks like a pigeon without the ears. I also recently got myself a little pin cushion for when I can't find my pin box. But my pin cushion was having some issues for a second there. But yeah, without the ears, he kind of looks like a pigeon. The legs are also of the phoenix, not the unicorn, so it looks a little funny. He's a little disproportioned. Once you have the wings and everything on him, he looks a little better. But right now, he just looks a little silly. I love him anyway. He's just a silly little guy. Not his fault. But tell me that doesn't just look like a pigeon. I was going for a traditional, graceful looking griffin, and I ended up with a pigeon. It's fine. Totally, absolutely fine. Oh, grabbing things. And you'll probably notice I'm using a different set of scissors. These ones are sharper somehow than my other scissors. My other scissors just need to be sharpened. But I also got these recently. So despite them being children's scissors, they are somehow sharper than my sewing scissors. But that's fine. Now we can actually attach the head properly. Now we've got the beak done. Now there is wire throughout the body and the legs, at least the front legs. Yeah, if I'm gonna do this again, which I probably will eventually, I definitely need to make the back legs bigger and I need to make the front legs longer as well. This was just a trial run. It was kind of hard to do because figured out the first time is the way the body works is the legs are attached and part of that. Fun times. I will probably try this again another time. But for now, I have a pigeon Gryphon. A little goofy, but that's okay. The first attempts usually are. I think it doesn't help the eyes I put on him are the semi-realistic ones of a normal color with brown and not like the sparkly ones I usually use. So it makes it look a little funnier. I will probably stop laughing eventually. Um, right now it's not that time. Having owned chickens before, working with bird faces is now just really funny to me. They are perpetually giving you the side eye. And they either look really suspicious or really expectant. Like cover his eye so I stop laughing too hard. I have to hold the face. You can't see the bombastic side eye. Oh my goodness. So today is a good day. We are having some fun. Alright. The other side is probably going to be kind of difficult. Bean, what are you doing? You're rubbing on things, which is making things difficult. Just went and found something different to rub on. It's fine, I guess. No, Bean. Bean. You're now kind of in the way, sweetie. I love you. You just want to drool on the blanket on my lap. It's still just a little bit cold in the mornings. So I have a heated blanket on my lap. It's on. So of course I'm not surprised that I have a cat in my lap now. She's just going to give you guys ASMR now. Oh, Bean. Oh, Bean. You purr so loudly. Oh, no, please don't nudge that. Alright, we're almost done attaching the pigeon head. It's just staring at me. The reasons why people think birds aren't real. Just look at their faces. I love these things. Okay. Alright, we are at where we started, so we will go ahead and make our little knot here. And we can make it look less derpy by adding ears. As much as I love my pigeon friend, this is not supposed to be a pigeon. Pigeons as a concept are very great and can be very pretty birds. But in practice, there's too many of them at this point. And you're not helping. I'm a little busy, sweet pea. Alright, that looks a little better. I got his beak on crooked, but it's fine. About there. No, back a little bit more. That's better. Okay. And I'm going to go on the other side of the ears. Stop nudging that. Don't get yourself kicked out of my lap. But we're going to go on the underside of the ears so they kind of stay in the placement that I want them to be in. We're going to go to the back here. And grab the middle of the ear, the middle back of the ear. I don't think this cat could purr any louder if she tried. But here we go. We're right back at the start of our ear. We're going to make our little knot. And then we're going to hide our string. We're going to hide the other portion of the string. Well, just have to thread it which I did get some thread assisters as well. Basically, what happened is my father-in-law found a bunch of sewing stuff and some storage from, I think, his mother's stuff, his late mother's stuff. And he thought of me, so he sent it to me, which I'm really appreciative of. The battle for my microphone is apparently going on today. We're using the same technique as last time, where we will go along the bottom and then we are going in the back of the ear now. Get things to sit correctly. Or as good as they're going to get, more or less. He still looks a tad bit derpy, but it's okay. Bean is always a little derpy. It's not the brightest cat in the bunch. She sure is cute. Bean has orange cat energy, but she is a tuxedo. Hide that string. I will hide this one. Alright, so he looks a little less hilarious now, which is always good. Alright, looks a little more normal. Alright, we're going to go ahead and work on these back legs here, and then we will reattach that wing with pins and actually attach it after that. So I did mesh together 3 different patterns, or 4 different patterns that didn't really go together. So the body was the unicorn pattern, the head and wings were the phoenix, the legs were the front legs were the phoenix that I meshed together with the unicorn body, and I also kind of just skipped the back legs attachment for the unicorn body. I was using the these legs, which these legs were an owl griffin, which ended up being much smaller than I thought it was going to be. So everything's a little out of proportion. I will definitely need to figure out a way to make the legs bigger, or use maybe the dragon style legs in the future. But I wanted this shape. it just ended up being too small. The shape is perfect for a sitting or laying griffin. Um, they're just a wee bit small. We're going with it anyways. I've already made them. Once you get the wings on there, it's harder to tell that it's too small. But hey, maybe somebody will enjoy a derpy griffin. I really liked how the pattern of the yarn turned out on this. I thought that was perfect. The coloration is great, especially on the wings. But yeah, a little silly. A silly little guy. And I'm only really attaching it around the thigh. I'm not really attaching the foot here. That's gonna kind of do what it wants. But I think the pattern on the striping turned out really nice. So I'm quite happy with that, with the yarn. I just need more practice in making these monstrosities function. Yep. Now the tail is several parts. I think it's like 7 parts in itself. So we have like the base part that's going to be attaching to the body. And we have all the feathery parts, which are actually, and I can't remember how to say it. Starts with a Q, and I struggle with those kinds of words. But it's basically like a feather dragon, feather worm. Has the feathery wings and feathery mane. That's that's what those are. That I used for the tail feathers, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I didn't want to do like a lion tail. I really liked the feathery tail look. I kind of made it work. Thanks. Bean has settled in, thankfully. I don't know if you guys can still hear her purring or not, but that has not stopped. She's just gotten a little quieter as she's actually laid down. It is relaxing. My cats are not very good at being lap cats for the first like 5 minutes of them trying to be lap cats, but eventually they figure it out. And it's fine. Takes a minute. They all want to be lap cats on their own terms. Um, the effectiveness of being a lap cat, though, varies from cat to cat and for how long they've been trying to be in your lap. This is not a good angle. Um, and here we go. All right. So the angle at which the feet are kind of laying is a little funky, but it's fine. Probably works out better this way. And with that. All right. We'll go ahead and add the tail. Just gotta find the right. Move that out of the way. Go. So I'm probably gonna have to dismantle the tail before I can really fully get it put together. Bean, please. But let's start with getting the base on. Alrighty, there we go. And make our knot. I just lost a pin. Okay. Alright. This off to the side. My nail is apparently splitting, catching on the yarn. there. Alright, now we can just work on these. Find the longer of the two, and we'll split that. Now, the tail is a mixture of the owl griffin tail and the feathery wing parts of the feathered worm that starts with the Q, and I can't remember the name of it. All of these are from Megan Lapp's book. I think the only thing I did was modify the ears from the horse pattern, because the unicorn pattern normally has the ears as just part of some of the rows on the body. But in this case, to change their position, I just made them separately, but I still followed the same steps that they would normally use. The modified version, because it's just part of a row normally. And I didn't do it as part of a row this time. I did them as their own thing, because I'm cool like that. So even if you have like a bunch of patterns and stuff, that doesn't mean you have to follow them exactly. You can adjust things to fit your needs. I also had to make the neck a little bit shorter for this, because the head is smaller than the horse head. Part of why it looks so derpy without the ears. I am just going to go along the back side of this here and make sure all my stitches are secure. Make sure I didn't miss anything. We'll do this on both sides, and then we'll repin the next layer of feathers tail. Now this tail does also have a bit of wire in it for posability, although I think I needed to make the wire longer so that it would stick into the body a little more, but it's fine. Live and learn. This is a first attempt after all, and not bad for a first attempt. Alright, we're actually going to tie these two together, and that's going to be our knot. We'll hide both of these through the body, or through the tail. We are not close enough to the body to hide it in the body. And there we go. And we're going to go ahead and do the other side. Gotta find that longer string. I think having this little pin cushion is helping me out a little bit, in my sanity at least. Your crows outside. I really want to like attract the crows to my house and feed them and whatnot. Um, but I don't intend on living in this house for the rest of my life. And I don't know if the crows will follow me or not. So what I will do instead is ignore their existence until I move into the house we intend to live in for quite a while. And then I will start befriending the crows. Because crows are cool, and I would like to have an army of them. Being decided my lap got too warm, which I kind of agree with, but my toes are still cold. I'm going to readjust my blanket to warm my toes. And not be as much on my lap. Funny because I can wear socks and shoes and whatnot, and my feet will still be cold. I just don't have good circulation down there, I guess. Alright, so once again, we can hide this string. And now that we've got both parts of this layer of feathers attached, we can add on the other layer of feathers. There are 3 total layers of feathers for the tail. The wings I did also modify. I added another layer of feathers to make them thicker, make them fluffier looking. I think it worked out pretty well. my nail keeps catching on things, so I'm just going to cut that off real quick. There. This one goes to that one. Now, which side do you belong on? I believe it's this side. Yes. There we go. That's one side attached. The smaller sides can go there. You can use a pin. Need that. Alright, there we go. And this should be longer string. Apparently my hair is getting attached in here. Here we go. Now this one I'm probably just going to do a single pass, since it is going on top of another set of feathers that already has that kind of layer of support. And I did try to line up the feathers so that the colors made sense with their placement. Layering the brown and gray over the brown and gray, and layering the green and white over the green and white as much as possible. And I think it worked out pretty nice. Alright, so that side is attached. We'll go ahead and snip that. And we'll go ahead and hide the other string here, so it's not in the way and not confusing later. Snip, snip. And this one is the longer one. attach it at about the same spot as the other one. It's going rather smoothly, which is kind of nice. And we'll go ahead and make our little knot here. Snip. And then hide this string. And it's not in the way for the next layer. Alright, now this one, weird one. I believe they're both gray. Go. Go. I feel like I lost one of these pins somewhere, but it's fine. All right. I think the tail has come together quite nicely. The various layers of feathers. A bit tedious. Thankfully, I'm not like attaching each feather individually. That would be obnoxious. Make a knot. Hide the string. And we're going to hide this other string. Apparently, I'm just special about my pins. There were 3. Oh no, I added that one. I am just special. And totally forgot that I added one. It's early morning. Can you guys tell? Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. That's okay. I make our knot. Hide our string. String. This one's gonna just go straight in the body. attach our wings. Now, unlike the dragon that I originally made, this is not going to take multiple videos to finish. We are at the end here. And these shouldn't take too long. Now these are modified phoenix wings. I added not only another layer of feathers, but I also added this top thing to hold a wire. I did make them accidentally different. Oh well. My pin cushion seems to be getting a little full. That's just fine. We're going to go back down to the bottom here. Apparently grab the corner of the table while we're at it. Almost poked myself with that because I got used to using the thing. There. Thought I had everything charged, but apparently something wasn't quite charged enough. That's okay. We're at the end here. Just a few more minutes is all I need to get out of this. So we've attached one of the wings, so we are just going to make our little knot here. And hide our strings. One wing attached. You can see the pipe cleaner I used in there, but it's fine. Not that big a deal. And now we'll go ahead and attach the second wing. All right. So that is bringing us to the end here. I'm just going to make my last little knot here. And if you enjoyed the video, please like the video. And if you'd like to get more of content like this, go ahead and subscribe. And with this, I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.